Let's make my Mustang
Safety squints.
less of a hazard by redoing the fuel system. This looks like garden hose. The entire feed, which gives me all of my fuel in this car, is made out of this garden hose looking stuff. And it is not E85 rated. It's rated for 93 though. This Y and all the lines actually came off the top of the fuel cell. I just fixed up a bulkhead fitting on the fuel cell too. So I told you we're doing some safety rehaul. This inline fuel filter has actually been on the wrong way this entire time. The arrow is supposed to point the other way. So again, if you look at the back of my fuel rail, that garden hose is coming there. We're gonna have to take this whole thing out. And this bulkhead fitting was loose and leaking for whatever reason. I just took the hat off and fixed it. The garden hose runs front all the way to the back, so let's get it out of there. Your days are over, Mr. Garden Hose. Yo, this car is not starting tonight because there's E85 everywhere, even though I relieve pressure in the lines. And here comes the line, the old one, that is. Everything about this line is gonna be copied, just with a different material. Big thank you to Evo Energy for sending out all of this fuel line and the fittings. They're in here, so they made this possible. Another problem with the old fuel system was that you were actually starving the car of fuel on one bank. The old system was to have a 10 AN from the fuel cell, obviously in the garden hose, to go right here. From the back of the rail, it went to the front, and then it went from rail to rail with this right here. So this is what connected the two. That means potentially this bank saw more pressure while this one saw less. I mean, the fact that it went from a 10 AN to an 8 AN to join over there restricts the flow a lot too. So when this new line is ran from the fuel cell, it'll feed 10 AN to the front of both rails, and then we'll have 8 ANs that go to my regulator, and then from there, that'll go back to the fuel cell. So this is what the new fuel line looks like, but you can see I'm setting up the 100 micron fuel filter right there, and I'm pointing it in the right direction this time. So it points in the way that the fuel flows through, and that's going front towards the car. So that's how you do it. This main line is gonna come from that fuel filter all the way to the engine bay. I'm gonna mark it here, and we'll put the Y.
Safety squints.
All this is a tool that they include to help you push it on. You gotta be careful though not to kink any of the hose while you're doing that. This is pretty much what you're looking for. You wanna make sure that this is seated straight, and then you take a little bit of assembly lube and put it on here. So that's what I'm doing right now. Press it on. Then you slide the other part of the fitting on the bottom all the way up, and then you put it in a vise and tighten down.
Brand new chain, brand new chain.
And now you wanna start cranking on it. So I use that style of hose clamp all the way to the front. Follows the frame rail all the way back and then to the wheel well, and that's where I have the line coming up. So I'll probably put the Y right here, unless you guys think that's a bad idea, then 45 off of each of them, and then 90 to the fuel rail fitting. Believe it or not, I've ran out of fittings, so we'll pick it up for part 2 when I have 2 90s and I can finish up this job. PTFE fuel line, and you can tell it's PTFE by how it looks, is the only fuel line that is actually E85 proof long term.